everybody, Lori here from Lori Book Trial. I'm doing something that I haven't done in a long time. I am doing a book review of Unwind by Neal Shusterman. Hi, if you're new to my channel, I'm Lori. And hi, how are you guys today? But anyways, I finished this. I started it yesterday evening and I finished it at 4 o'clock this morning. I'm exhausted. Like, I'm paying for it right now because I really just want to go to bed. But this will be spoilerly. I will let you know when I'm ready to start doing the spoilers. First, I'll let you guys know, just in case you guys don't know what it's about. Even though I'm doing a vlog, so I did like a couple. I did in my vlog, which you won't see until probably tomorrow. I did on the second part, in case you don't want to be spoiled. I just told you my overall thoughts. I didn't go too much into detail because I'll do it here as well. Because the first part will be just my thoughts, and then the second part will be a actual spoiler review. So it might be a long video, so just be prepared. But yes, like I said, this book, because I already mentioned it before, is about these three kids, Connor, Rissa, and Levi. And they're all being set to be what is called Unwind, which is where you basically, they put you under, they take all your body parts. I mean, they basically kill you, and they harvest your parts to people that need it. So that's what this is all about. It's not spoilery because it tells you in here. Connor's like the problem child. His parents can't handle him. Rissy's thing is she's a ward of the state. She's just average. Like, she's okay at this, she's okay at that, you know. They just don't think, basically, that she's going to amount to anything that needs to be, you know, worth keeping alive. They think that somebody else would be better suited, I guess, basically, with her stuff. I don't know how they go into it, really, but, yeah. And Levi, I forget what the actual word is called, but, oh, okay, it's a scythe? A scythe or something like that? Scythe? It's T-I-T-H-E. These are what is where they were, the only reason they were born was to become an organ donor, basically. The only reason why his parents had him, so he's, you know, he knows that he's going to be killed once he turns 13. And he thinks it's, you know, an honor. That's what I will say about that. I'll give you some of my overall impressions. I can't remember if they said how old Connor and Rissa is, but Levi is 13. He just turned 13, like I said. Did I tell you the ages? Because between 13 and 18. They want to kill you definitely by the time before you could turn 18. Because once you're 18, then you know, you can, they can't harvest you anymore. So, yeah. So they got to try to stay alive until they're 18. So, yeah. And definitely I think they're all very complex. The girl I like, but I think the guys are a lot more complex. I'll go into why Levi is so complex later in the spoilers section. But Connor is just like, he's a rebel. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't really bad, I don't think. I mean, sometimes he gets into fights. But he's not like, you know, he usually doesn't start the fights. He just don't know how to basically not fight. It's just like that instinct in him that he needs to fight. He needs to stick up for himself. He needs to fight. So, yeah. And I can't really, like, say too much about Rissa, like I said. I liked her, don't get me wrong. I will say that there is romance in here a little bit. I mean, they do like each other. Connor and Rissa, or Rissa, how do you say her name? They do like each other. Not really, like, that ain't the focus, though, at least in this one. I mean, they kissed a couple of times, but that was it. But, yeah. But oh my god, that ending. I'll tell you that the ending was very, it wasn't like, what's that word? Like, really cliffhangery. Like, it ended, like, in a nice spot that you can wait if you have to wait. But also exciting enough that you want to know what's going to happen with these characters. I mean, I love the world build. I love the characters, especially the two guys. I just felt like they're more, what's that word? Like, out. Like, you know, like, he goes into more details about them. Like, they're more fleshed out, that's the word, than she is. Even though I say she's a pretty badass when she wants to be. And she won't take crap. But I'll go into, yeah. Yeah, so it's really good. So like I said, basically, something happens, and that's why he's with them. He, just say that he didn't want to be with them. He was all set to be, like, you know, be the Scythe or Tithe or however you say it. But, yeah, something happened, and he's not now because of what happened. And, yeah. I will say I do not like his parents, but his brother is awesome. And I'll go into detail why I like the brother so much. And, yeah. I felt like he was, like, really, really fleshed out of the three, even though Connor was pretty fleshed out, too. Like, I liked Connor. I'll go into more detail about him, like I said, in the spoiler section. But, yeah. Oh, gosh, but Levi, he changes the most. He is the most dramatically changed. And if you read the story, you'll understand why he changes so much. You know, if you don't want to be spoiled. But I will say that I am so glad I decided to read this because I was so nervous because I love Scythe, and you guys know me. I love Scythe and Thunderhead so much. Like, it's my favorite series, and I was so afraid that it was going to be a fluke, and that's the only books I would like and nothing else. But, my God, you guys. This was so good. I mean, it just, like, I was, like, on 160 or 70 when I put it down for a little while. And when I picked it up, like, about 11:30, quarter to 12, I was like, okay, I'm only going to read until 12 and then put it down. And then at 12, I was like, okay, I'll read another chapter. And then so on and so on. And the next thing you know, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was done with the book. That's how sucked in I was. I mean, this has the plot, it has the characters, like, especially, like I said, the two guys. I think Rissa should be fleshed out just a little bit more. Like, I can feel her, but not as much as the guys. I think the guys, like, just because of how they are, the guy and the boy, because he's only 13. But, yeah. They stole the show just because of things that go on with them. So, yeah. But I do like Rissa, too. I just hope she's fleshed out more in the other books. But that's the only bad gripe I really have is that about her. Is that I wish she was fleshed out more. But there was, like, enough action. There's adventure. There is a trigger warning. Somebody does try to rape Rissa. But I'm not going to go into spoilers, but it's not for the reason that that normal people that try to attack people do. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like just the act, like the sexual act. And it's not really the sexual act with this guy that tries to attack her. I mean, rape her, I should say. Not attack, rape. But yeah, it was more, like I said, for some other purpose, which I'll go into in spoilers. But there is that little scene where it wasn't even really a big scene. It was like just one page, if even that. Like, I think it was like this much of a page, like a half of a page. But yeah, and there is, like, he ain't afraid, like, to hurt his characters. I will tell you that. People get hurt in this book. So yeah, he is not afraid of that. That's what I like about him too. I'm just hoping no one dies. Especially these three, because they're my babies. Especially the two guys. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want nothing helping Darissa either. But these guys, like, oh gosh, like Levi, he's like a son. Like, I would just want to grab him and just protect him, and yeah. And Connor is like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know what it is about Connor, but he just, like, I think I kind of like the bad boy. He kind of reminds me of Rowan. I guess Rowan should remind me of Connor, since this book is before Scythe. But anyways, I read, Scythe first, so that's why he reminds me of Rowan. So, yeah. Levi doesn't really remind me of any of the characters from the other books. And Rissa definitely doesn't remind me of Citra. Definitely nothing like Citra. But yeah, I can see, like, where, like, Connor and Rowan from Scythe, they really, like, remind me so much of each other in a certain sense. So, yeah. But now, if you don't want to be spoiled, then don't watch the video, okay? Because I don't want to spoil you guys. Just watch the second part of the vlog, not the first part of the vlog, because I went into a lot of thought at the beginning, because I wanted to give you guys an idea on my first part of the vlog about what I was feeling about the book. So, yeah. But the second part, like I said, I didn't give any spoilers. It's basically just like this one. So you don't even have to really watch the vlog at all, unless you just don't mind being, unless you don't mind being spoiled and you just want to watch my vlog from yesterday and today. Because I am going to be doing a try a chapter during my vlog. So, yeah. But, yeah. That is it for the non-spoily. So, if you don't want to be spoiled by non-spoily people. Okay, I'm waiting a couple seconds. Okay, spoily people. Hi, again. Oh my gosh. So, Connor. Well, let's go with Rissa first. Now, like I said, she's basically the ward of the state, And has her moments of being, like, really, really tough. Like, she don't like to be touched, and Connor touched her, and she went all off on him, and it was pretty badass, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm just going to say that she was pretty badass. But, of course, she has this feelings for him. She's like, do I like him? Don't I like him? That kind of thing. Of course, like I said, there is romance, so, of course, they do wind up liking each other. So, that's basically her drift. Now, Connor is the tough guy. Very, very tough, like I was saying. He's just, like, he will not put up with nonsense. If he thinks somebody's in the wrong, he's going to tell you that they're in the wrong. If they try something with him, he's going to, like, give them as good as they give him. As they try to give him. So, yeah. And Levi, at first, he's so, yeah, like, goody-goody, like, oh my gosh, like, he so believes what they're telling him about. It's an honor to be an Unwind, and that you shouldn't run, that you are breaking the law, that you should be killed, definitely, if you run, and stuff like that. Like, you should do no wrong. That's the way he feels at first. So, we basically meet Connor. He's like a sneak. He had a feeling that something was going on with him and his with his family, that they were hiding something from him. And at first it was that he thought that they were going to go on like a vacation without him or something like that, because he found tickets for just the mother, the father, and the brother. And yeah, and then he looked more and he found the papers that said that they signed him off. So that's what happened to him. And his part is that he liked this one girl, I don't even remember her name, and she was like, oh, I will run off with you, blah, blah, blah. So he decides he's gonna run. And then, of course, she changes her mind. No, I can't do it, blah, 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 her reasons. So, yeah, he escapes. he's on like a truck or something like that, and I don't know how they, I think the phone, I think he had his phone on, and they tracked him through the phone, because he had it on him, you know what I mean. But, he escapes, and what happens is, okay, we'll go into Levi. Okay, so that's where we're all with Connor. He escapes. He's running from the cops. Now, we'll go into, I'm going to skip a little bit because it's actually Rissa that's after Connor. But I'm going to go to Levi. So Levi, we meet him. He's having a party because, you know, he's getting ready. The next day he's going to be sent to the camp to wait to be Unwind. And he's like, they're having parties and everything. And I loved his brother. I don't remember what his brother's name was. I think it might be Matt. Think it Matthew? I'll tell you in a minute. Let me see. Is it Matt? Marcus. His name's Marcus. That was close. It's an M. But I liked his brother Marcus. Like, he was like, I can't be a part of this. I mean, you know, I can't watch you, you know, throw your life away thinking that this is like such a great thing in the world, you know. And of course he can't take his brother because he doesn't, you know, plus his brother doesn't want to be, you know, he thinks it's a good thing, like I was saying. So he says, I can't condone this. I'm going. I'm leaving. Bye. I love you, but I gotta go, he was saying to his brother. And he was so pissed off at his family, so basically the family disowned him. And anyways, it was the next day after the party. They're getting ready to go in the car, and then Connor comes. And Connor takes Levi hostage. Okay. So, Rissa, she's like, I don't forget what she plays, some kind of instrument, and there's like a thing going on, and she's supposed to be playing the instrument, and she kind of messes up. Like, she messed up like 5 times, I guess. But anyway, she gets sent to the office, and like, I don't know if it's the same day or the next day. And there's some official people there, and then she finds out that she was sent, that they signed papers for her to be sent to the Unwound camp. So, she is on the bus. I think Connor does something, and I think it was Connor accidentally caused the bus to crash, and she gets out. She goes with him. And yeah. And that's how all 3 of them are together. And then there's this one section, even though this person doesn't stay and play the whole way through. But there's this one part where there's this lady, and she leaves the child. Like, she had a newborn baby, and she leaves the child at the steps, because there's this thing where if you can leave a baby there, and then that person has to keep the baby and can't give it to anybody else, whatever. But anyways, the Connor finds out about the baby. I mean, here's the baby crying, and they're getting ready to go on the bus to make their escape. And of course, he has to go and get the baby. And then he talks about this story that I'm not going to go into everything, but he talks about a story about this baby that, it's really sad, like, was left at the doorstep. There's a word for it, but I can't remember what they call it in here. And, yeah. And the parents didn't want nothing to have to do with it, the baby. And like I said, once that baby is left at your steps, you are basically considered their parents. And you're supposed to have complete responsibility, but they didn't do that. They left the baby at somebody. This is a different baby, of course. I was just telling you. Because Connor's just explaining to them why he had to take this baby. But anyways, he talks about how the parents took the baby to another house and left the baby there. And then he talked about how they thought, okay, nothing about it, because, you know, nothing happens. And then about a week later, there's another door, ringing at the door, and it's the same baby. Somebody else had the baby. So I guess the whole neighborhood was like passing the baby around. And the sad thing is the baby died. they took it to the hospital, but by the time they took it to the hospital, it was too late for the baby. So that's why he was explaining why he took this baby. Really interesting. Okay, this is when they split up. Besides Rissa and Connor, they don't split up. They stay together, but Levi gets separated from them for most of the, like 3/4 of the book, probably. Half of the book, 3/4, something like that. But anyways, they went to this school because the bus is like full of people, like kids and stuff, and it's a school, and the babies are allowed, like there's kids that have, like other girls that have babies and stuff. So, you know, anyways, they go to the school, they hide in the stall, basically, all three of them. They think that Levi, you know, is with them, even though, you know, he's not. He's still thinking, you know, that this is the right thing, you know, that they're wrong, that they're breaking the law, you know. So he basically tells them, the people at the school, that they were hiding in the stalls. But then there's this pastor, and he calls him, and the pastor told him, do not come back, stay gone, you know, this is not right what they're doing, you know. So now he's, you know, having second thoughts. So he does something for the school, will, you know, be distracted. And then they get separated. I think he pulled the fire alarm, if I'm not mistaken. And, yeah. And they get split up that way. And then Connor and Rissa, they find like this, what's it called? Like a underground railroad type thingy, where, yeah, the teacher helped them, and she's told them to go to this one lady, and things happen there, and she, like, keeps them for a certain amount of time. There's this really sad scene, like, let me see if I can find it, but she has them, like, write like a, what's it called? Like a letter to somebody, because she wants to give it to them. Or if they turn 18, they're supposed to go back to her and get the letter. So anyways, Connor's writing a letter, and I thought it was so sad. And I'm going to see if I can find it. This is going to be a long review, like I said, so just be prepared. I'm trying to see if I can find it. It had to be after that they did the note. Yeah, so here we go. So she wants him to write a letter, and okay, this is what she says. Write a letter to someone you love. Make it as long as you want or as short as you want. I don't care, but fill it with everything you wish you could say, but never had the chance. Do you understand? And then he said, what if I don't love me? Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, you guys don't need to know that. But anyways, so he writes a letter, and this is what he says. It says, Dear Mom and Dad. And then he said, at first he was so angry as he knew it would be. He said he thought that he was going to say how much he hated his parents and stuff before, because of what they did and all that. But then instead he put down, I hate you for what you've done, and I'll never forgive you. But when he that's what he thought he was going to say. But what he finally says is, I love you. your one-time son, Connor. And he said even before he signed his name, he feels the tear welling up inside. They didn't seem to come from his eyes, but from deep in his gut. It's a heaving so powerful it hurt his stomach and his lungs. His eyes flood, and the pain inside is so great. He's certain it will kill him right here, right now. But he doesn't die. In a town that storms inside his passes. And in time, the storm, inside him passes, leaving him weak in every joint and muscle of his body. He feels like he needs Sonia's cane just to walk again. It said his tears are soaked into the pages, warping little craters in paper, but not sponging the ink. I just thought it was so sad that he thought he was going to say he hated them and everything, but instead he was, still loving them, even after what happens. I thought that was sad. And then the baby winds up staying because, like I said, the teacher helped them escape and told them where to go to that lady where they were staying. So the teacher and her husband take the baby. So that's why the baby ain't with them anymore. And then they go to this one camp. There's this guy, I don't remember what his son's name is. But anyways, he runs the camp. And yeah, Connor thinks that the guy's bad and everything. But let me go back a little bit because I forgot the guy that tries to rape the girl, Risa, and why. So there's this guy that they meet because he's in the thing as well, where they're getting transported and stuff. His name's Roland. And he wants everybody to be scared of him and look up and, do what he wants and everything. He wants to be in charge. And he knows that Connor, that people are going to want to follow Connor because of the way Connor is. So basically that's why he tries to rape her, because he thinks that because her and Connor are pretending like they're together. So he thinks, oh, I'm going to, attack her, and then he's going to do whatever I say for it don't happen again, basically. And, yeah. And Connor, it's in the bathroom when it happens, and Connor walks in and pretends like he didn't care, because the girl was telling him that before this happened, like, don't give in to him, just ignore him and stuff. And so that's why he doesn't, like, go after the guy. He really wanted to, believe me, because he even talks about in his point, when it's his chapter, how bad he wanted to go after him. But he didn't. And he explained why, but she was still kind of, like, not really upset, but kind of, how you would feel. But she understood, but it still kind of upsetted her. At the same time, that he didn't, like, defend her right away. Protect her, whatever. But anyways, yeah, that's the only point. And it even proved the point in another scene, which, if you read it, you'll find out. But, yeah. And then, so they're at the camp, that they're finally at the camp, where they're supposed to be until they're 18. So they're supposed to stay there until they're 18, and then, they're safe. But anyways, of course, Roland is with them, the bad guy. The jerk. And he basically, he's an asshole. Just say that much. I'll go into more about what he does in a few minutes. But, back to Levi. Now, he's separated. He comes across this guy. What is his name? Sci-Fi? And Sci-Fi is different. He's not the, what do you want to call it? He's not, Unwind. His thing is that he actually was, like, super, super smart. He's still smart, but he was super smart. And I think he got hurt somehow. I can't remember what it was. And he lost, like, some of his brain, his brain, basically. They needed to put some of somebody else's brain into him, like part of it, not the whole brain, just part of the brain that was missing, a little piece of that was missing to make his brain complete. And you come to find out that when you get these other people's, whatever you get from the other people, it, you get like some of their characteristics. So the guy that he got the part of the brain from, he doesn't realize he's dead. So he did something. I'm not going to go into everything because I don't want to spoil the whole book. But he did something. He doesn't know he's dead, but he's like, he can like come in on Sai's head sometimes. Yeah. And things happen. But Sai can see him, but no one else could see him. Like, he was talking to Levi about how, like, he can tell that the guy, that the one that died had blonde hair and I think blue eyes. I can't remember what the color of the eyes are, but you get the point. So he helps the boy do what he has to do because I guess, you know, they're from the same town, so he has to get back to this town. And yeah. And then Levi winds up leaving him after he sets, you know, things right, helps the boy, you know, set things right and everything. Help, you know, the one that is inside Ty. Yeah. I think his name Ty. Is his name Ty? I can't remember. But anyways, yeah. So I think his name's Sai. Sai, C-Y, I think. But anyways, he helps him do what he has to do, and then he takes off. And then he winds up at the camp with Connor and Rissa. And now he's like really like, he's changed dramatically because of all that he went through along his travels. And he gets involved with this one group. It's called the Clappers. So what they do, I think they like put bombs on their hands or something like that, and then they clap and blow up things. So he gets involved with them. Things happen. Somebody gets hurt. Not the main character, it was one of the other characters. Got hurt. And they take the person to the hospital. And Roland, or yeah, the bad one, he winds up turning them in. But here's the twist. He also wound up getting turned in. They wound up taking him too. So, they're at the camp where the Unwinds are kept. And yeah, things happen there. People get hurt. Like, oh my gosh. Because, like I said, Levi is with, you know, the Clapper people. And they're getting ready to set off bombs. And he doesn't know that Connor or Rissa is at the camp. And they're going to set off the bombs and everything. You know, like clap their hands and do the bomb thing. And he finds out that Connor's there. And that Connor's about to get unwound. Yeah. And things happen. People get hurt. And then basically, Levi is with the pastor guy, the one that I was talking about at the beginning that told him not to leave. I mean, that told him, like, later on when at the school part, he told him to, you know, not to come back home. And yeah, he's with him and finds out that he's the ward of the state because Sci-Fi, whatever you want to call him, Sci-Fi, High, whatever you want to call him. Anyways, he says something, and yeah, to help for Levi won't go to jail. And so basically he's a ward of the state because his parents disown him. And basically things happen and that's where he is. Stuff happens and like I said, things happen. I'm not going to tell you what because I don't want to spoil everything or you guys are going to know everything. But stuff happens and it ends basically with Connor saying something. And it was very good. It was very interesting. I mean, everything that happened was so interesting, you guys. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, oh. It was just like heart stop and like, oh gosh. I mean, it went into like it talked about someone, it was actually like going into detail about someone that was being unwound, and like what that person was feeling before he actually died. And yeah, very intense, very, very intense, very intense. But like a lot of crap happens. Something happens to, I'm not going to say who, but this one person, there's a story that is around camp about, that they find out, that's a story. They don't know if it's true or not, about this one person, I don't remember the name, but about how he was harvested, things like that. And how his parts were like being, they were saying his parts were like being like given all around to different people and things like that. Humphrey Dumphrey or something like that. You know, it's supposed to be like because of Humpty Dumpty. You know what I mean? Like how his brain and everything got scrambled from falling. But anyways, so they call him Humphrey Dumphrey or something. I can't remember the thing, but something to do with Humpty Dumpty. But yeah, and you find out that somebody is related to this boy that was unwound, and you find out the story about why the person did the unwound and things like that. So, very good book. I know it's kind of rambly all over the place, but I had to like do this way. It was like the stuff was fresh in my brain. So I know it's a little like scattery a little bit, but so much stuff happens, like, oh my gosh. Like, there's this one scene that was really interesting. So, Connor, like I said, he, like, when they are being sent to the first camp, you know, the good camp, when he was being sent there, they were, like, put into a, like a container or whatever you want to call those, you know, that how they, like, send you, like, they ship, like, put you on, like, on a crane or something. I don't know if they were on a crane or what, I can't remember, but they were put, like, in a thing for they would be transported, basically, like a container type thing. And while they were in there, some of the kids that he was, you know, that they met when they were waiting to be transferred. Well, anyways, they were talking about, like, do they think that people that are being unwound has a soul? And there's this one really, like, weird scene. I don't want to go into too much detail, but if I can find it, I'll read a little bit. But they were talking about basically, like, if they're going to be unwound something. I can't remember, but it was really funny. I wish I remembered which one that one was. Because it just... Oh, here we go. It says, "What if it's a harvest camp after all?" said Imby, how do you say his name? And Connor doesn't tell him to shut up this time because he thinks the same thing. It's Diego who answers him. If it is, then I want my fingers to go to a sculpture so he can use them to create something that will last forever. Hayden is the next to speak. If I'm unwound, I want my eyes to go to a photographer. One who shoots supermodels. That's what I want these eyes to see. And then Connor says, my lips go to a rock star. And somebody says, these legs are definitely going to the Olympics. Oh, I think all this is Connor. My lips go to the rock star, says Connor. These legs are definitely going to the Olympics. My ears to an orchestra conductor. And my stomach is going to a food critic. My biceps to a bodybuilder. I wouldn't wish my sinuses on anybody. And they're all laughed as the plane touches down. And that's it. That's all we're going to talk about. That's how I want to end the review. But yes, I loved it so much. I definitely can't wait for the next one. Let me know if you read this before, what you thought about it. If you read the other three, let me know what you thought about the series and the whole. But don't tell me spoilers. Just tell me if you liked it, how it ended. And yeah. And let me know if it might be something you want to read. Oh God, you guys, I love it so much. I have to decide. Probably I'll know after I finish both series. when they're complete. Like, I'll be done with this one sooner, of course, because I'll be getting the other one soon. But after I'm done with this series, and then the Toll comes out in September, after I'm done reading that, then I'm gonna tell you if I liked one series more than the other. So I'll let you know probably in September. But yes, that is it. I know this is a long video. I'm sorry, but you know me. I do long reviews. But if you guys love this video, please thumbs up. And remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, remember to hit the bell icon so you'll know whenever a video of mine is uploaded. Remember, if you ever need anything, just let me know down below. I love you guys so, so very much. I know I said I'm going to do a giveaway after I hit 100. It probably won't be until May or June, just because money right now, you know. Next month, I'm doing like me and my friend Ashley, BookBabe88, we're doing like a Easter thing together, like we like to do, like let's send each other like a little package. So I won't have that money that month. So yeah, so probably, like I said, June, May or June. And when I do send it, I think the May or June one is just going to be the U.S. and then probably like after school goes back, you know, when they go back to school after the summer break, then I will do one for just my international. And what the international one will be is, you know, is as long as it's book depository is in your, you know, ships to you. That's what the international one will be. Just for the international people, not the U.S. people, because the U.S. people's is going to be in May. Okay? May or June. But yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you guys. I love you guys all. Sorry this is such a long video. I will talk to you guys all later. Mwah for now. Lori out.